Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of This Week in Tech. I don't know, what are we calling this? No, Tech Talk? I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm just glad you are here. I am Carl, aka the real Ginger Tech. Ginger Tech, and I just realized my lighting is not even... Wow, I am just off. We're not gonna work. Come on, oh, stream. There we go. Gotta turn that light on, turn these colors, turn that one back there on. So, I do want to thank you guys for stopping by today, or tonight, this evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. In case you haven't noticed, I'm missing somebody over there. Unfortunately, Justin could not make it today. And I just realized, what are my settings at? No, it should be good. You guys let me know what it looks like in the chat there. Yeah, I am going solo. So you guys, I'm gonna need your help keeping you entertained. So be sure to keep the chat active. We've already got people going here. Alan, thank you for stopping by. He actually found this stream by himself. No people had to help him. So good job, Alan. Bill Wilson is present and currently heading home. We also got Mark Gumpin here. He apparently just got into the car to drive home himself. So thanks for stopping by, Mark. Drive carefully, both you and Bill Wilson, who's been running errands. And of course, we have Larry Brown, the man, the myth, the legend, Larry. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. So yeah, this should be an interesting stream. I decided to spice things up a bit. I got a little beer here that I'm going to enjoy while we stream. And Bill might know this one. Larry, I think he is. Are you in Missouri, Larry? I feel like somebody in this chat is. And apparently that's the only place you can get this that I've found so far. Found it, Alan? Yes, he found it. That is some good stuff right there. This is a Zwickel Bavarian Lager. Yeah, I had some of this imported from Missouri to, my place here. It is delicious. It's like a full meal. Like you just drink one of these and it's like a whole dinner. So, but enough of that. Let's talk a little tech. Don't mind me, every so often I'm looking off to the side here. I just replaced a battery on my sister's MacBook Pro, and I'm just keeping an eye on it. It's charging right now. Yeah, those batteries, I don't know if anybody has ever looked into replacing a battery on a MacBook Pro in the chat here, but it is a giant pain because they glue down the battery, which makes for an interesting removal process. You have to see, oh yeah, this is a gift card from Harbor Freight. Started off brand new, and yeah, between that and this and a couple of these little pry tools here, yeah, that was interesting. If I can get it. It all comes out eventually. Pretty sure it's all supposed to look like one piece when you're done, but I got it out. Yeah, all that adhesive, this isn't just a little, this is like 7 miles worth of adhesive on this thing, and it's just a nightmare. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody ever, period. I will never do that again. Well, I say never, but then if a family member says, hey, Carl, I need you to replace a battery, I'm like, okay. So, you and Grandma Hates Tech I do like my beer, especially this one. This is very good. And you're right, Bill Wilson, no drinking while you're driving. Once you get home, crack one open. Yeah, that's good. That's going to make for a fun night. So let's dive into some actual tech that's going on out there, not just the random crap that I'm working on. Last week, end of last week, we actually had Let me get back to this here. Stream. Yeah, no, I don't think they want you to replace it. I don't think they want themselves to replace it. I mean, that's like each piece. Like, I don't know if you could see it, but it's like all the way around each one. Like ridiculous amount. Each one of those, there's like 3 on the big guys here. It's asinine. Whole time I'm like, I'm gonna blow this up. Just wait. Thank you, Apple, for your lovely planned obsolescence. Yes, right. So far this battery's looking good. It's like a Ninja bat or something. I'm just keeping the screen on so I can check on it. But anyways, back to some tech news. For those people interested, or those people not in the know that might be interested, there's a new Nintendo Switch, not made by Switch. It's not a Nintendo product. That's better in every way. No, I'm just kidding, not better. The Valve, son of a, we're gonna fix this. Just hold on. I know what you're thinking. Carl, what did you do? Let's, you guys can't see anything. Yeah, can't enjoy, you can't. I can't enjoy, you can't either. That's right. Smoke to my right? What? I don't know what's going on. Do I see smoke to your right? This is right. Oh yeah, the battery. Just if there was a weird like rustling sound that I think was the plastic from something else like settling, then I'm like, oh, that sounds like something burning. Anyways, let's go back to studio mode because I need to fix you to be with the thing and the stuff, and boom. There we go. Okay, now we're looking good. So let's go there, turn off that. Now we should be able to see. That's right. Okay. So the new Steam Deck, for those of you not in the know, is a handheld gaming device, very reminiscent of the Nintendo Switch. I also look at this and think to myself, it looks a lot like a Game Gear from Sega back in the day. And I'm excited. I kind of want one of these, but they are kind of spendy. So $399 get you a 64 gig version, which is 64 gig eMMC, which isn't bad. We can hear about the welcome to Carl Hates Tech. That's right. I hate batteries. That's what I hate. There's a 64 gig eMMC model for $399, which isn't bad. There's a 256 gig NVMe for $529, which if I were to buy one, which I most likely will for no reason other than to say, hey, I bought one, you can pick one up, $529, 256. But then there's also an upgraded storage, 512 gig NVMe SSD. There's some things on here: premium anti-glare etched glass, exclusive carrying case. The other two come with a carrying case. And I get an exclusive Steam community profile bundle. Oh yeah, I know everybody's wanting that. Exclusive virtual keyboard theme. Nope, I'd probably still go $529. I don't know. I'd have to see what this etched glass is for sure. See if that's worth it. Carrying case, whatever. Yeah. But something to think about is Q2 2022 is where we're looking right now for both the 64 gig and 256. Q3 for 2022 for the 512 gig version. So I will be waiting. Oh, hey, Justin made it into the chat. Justin, hey, we're sorry you're missing out too, but we hope you feel better. I'm sure, you will. I'll just keep drinking until you feel better. How does that sound? Yeah, no, I missed dinner. So, he says he's got the 64 gig. He already signed up for it. Alan says, but it's all Steam software only, right? No, actually, he's right. It's just Linux. You can put whatever you want on it. And actually, let me see if I can track it down here. I believe you can even run Windows off of it. Steam Deck running Windows. Why the Steam Deck won't flop like Valve Steam machines? No. You install Windows on a Steam Deck. Here we go. Steam Deck is just like a PC and it can run Windows. I was actually some article. I don't know if I actually have it. Nope. Not that one. Oh yeah. Let's ignore that I pulled that up for a second. And go back to here. And boom, if you're looking for a handheld Xbox, you can run Windows and turn it into a handheld Xbox on the Steam Deck. It's a PC. It's basically a PC. Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, that's exactly what it is. And you can install Windows on it. Given the fact that a lot of Xbox titles are now coming out for Windows on the Windows App Store or Microsoft Store or whatever they want to call it. Plus, there's cross compatibility where you can stream your Xbox games to your Windows PC if it's not fully like transferred over. There you go. You know, you have a full Xbox portable, which I think is an awesome idea. I know PlayStation has done a PlayStation Portable, the what do they call it? There's the PSP Go, which is a smaller version of the PSP. And then there was the PSP Vita or PS Vita. Justin will correct me on that because he did the other day. This is like 2 weeks ago. But I was thinking one thing, he had something different, and then I went, oh yeah. So PS Vita, I think. Oh yeah, let's go with that. So, maybe even Switch games, probably not yet. You give it another couple years, there will be a Switch emulator out there. Justin says maybe if you can find an emulator, sure. It probably has the power for it. I'd imagine with what this is running, it's, I haven't even actually seen the full, let's see, full specs on this. They are, when you look at custom in Steam Deck, it's even close to the Xbox. A custom AMD GPU will power the Steam Deck, complete with 8 RDNA 2 compute units and up to 1.6 teraflops of performance. Apparently the Xbox One is 1.4 teraflops and the PS4 is 1.8. So it's entirely possible you could run Xbox or Switch or PS Vita. Thank you. You could run a ton of games on this. I just like the thought of there are some games that I really enjoy on my PC, but I will still use an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller or something that just makes it more fun or a little easier to control, especially like side scrollers and stuff. They're just a little easier to maneuver with, joysticks and actually emulators. I bet you if there's got to be a way to put emulators on there. If you do Windows, you can do emulators. I was actually thinking about way back. I was thinking about building my own handheld emulation, and it was going to be a a Raspberry Pi 4. It was going to be a 7-inch screen, built-in controllers, basically a Nintendo Switch that was dedicated just to emulation, but with also like an HDMI out as an option. And I still would like that, but at the same time, this isn't a bad option at all. Especially if you could do some sort of emulation, and even really with Steam, the Steam OS on here, there's going to be games that are already some things that I would like to emulate. I don't think that there's Game Boy Color Pokemon games on Steam, but there are going to be some games, you get some, what's the Final Fantasies, or I'm sure there's some other retro games that would be perfect for this. Sounds too much like Steam Deck. Sounds too much like a Steam Deck, which would be cheaper. I might actually use that. Sounds too much like a Steam Deck, which would be cheaper. Oh, are you talking about my idea for building an emulation? I've seen some like piecemeal kits that they would be a little bit cheaper. Like there is, was it Pi Boy? I believe. Pi Boy DMG kit. So depending on what style you're looking for, there is something like this guy right here. I've looked at this before. There's a couple different variations. Looks like your retro Game Boy. You can do the cartridge. It comes with a cartridge, I believe, or you have to purchase it separately. That basically just has an SD card built into it, so you could just slap it in as if you were playing an old school Game Boy. You do get a little thumbstick down below there. Volume, headphones, power. Obviously you get more buttons than an original Game Boy. I like that option. My thought process is, though, I'm going to be playing a little bit more than just Game Boy games or basic games. I would like to do some stuff like Nintendo 64 games, and it would run it, but I'm also looking at the control factor. Whereas I would like it to have like the dual joysticks, left and right buttons. And actually this may have, on the back. Let's go back to this here real quick. It does have a left and right button right there. So, that's an option. Could you make a handheld that mirrors the screen from a desktop on the same network, as in you could play games on your computer? 100%. I do not see why not one bit. The screen mirroring, I don't think would be the issue. I think it would be having it recognize the controls. And Justin could probably verify. I mean, just throwing a screen mirror, if you could install Windows on there, you could just do a remote desktop. But then the input from your buttons may be not something that remote desktop would understand or comprehend. So it's entirely possible. I mean, you could do it on your phone, so why not? Stream Deck. Isn't Stream Deck the gadget Craig uses to control his lights, etc. when recording? You know what? It is the Stream Deck. That's actually, I got one right here. Got the buttons on there, and that's how that's starting soonish. Nope, not the right one. I want to go back to me. Yeah. So that's the Stream Deck. This is the Steam, no R, as in Steam Gaming. So in case you guys aren't familiar with that, that's where a lot of people download games. So Steam based games would be easy, I suppose. Yeah. I'd imagine, I mean, I'd imagine you'd be able to run a lot of the AAA titles off of this Steam Deck, but I don't think they would make, because it's such a low resolution. I don't think they would really, I don't think they'd make this without being able to play some of the bigger games. I mean, it's possible they may have done that, but yeah, obviously you're going to wait and see. I want to see, before I actually purchase one, I want to, controls could be mapped. That is true. That is true. Just have the controls represent keys on a keyboard. Good call. Good call. I want to see how this thing really performs, not just review units that have been sent out. What are you doing over there? I let the run down son of a. Anyways, the nice thing about this is if you're thinking about pre-ordering one, you can do that now for only $5 down, which is refundable in case you change your mind down the road. But that's if you can order one, because apparently pretty much the day after this launched, the Steam store for purchasing it was just a hot mess. So basically people were talking about, you originally had to have a long established Steam accounts. So some people were too new to participate. Other parts of Steam got flaky during the crush of pre-order interest. The entire Steam store, Steam's community pages, and at age gate that lets you view mature titles didn't work that morning. So the day after, apparently two of the editors from this publication, they managed to get their reservations processed, but other people were, opted to lock out people with new or unused accounts. Other people were having problems getting their like payments to process, or they couldn't even get into it. It's kind of crazy. And you know, it's kind of one of those things. Everything seems to be that way right now. You know, people have a little extra income, or I'm not sure where people are getting this money, but I mean, like buying an Xbox, buying a PlayStation 5, buying a Switch. Well, Switches are pretty much back to normal, aside from the OLED ones, which I think I was reading the pre-orders on those are asinine ways out there too. But, you know, it's just the way it is right now. And unfortunately, I don't see that calming down anytime soon. Grab it if you can, if you're really interested. I'm okay waiting because I have my computer. I play all my games. Justin says he struggled to order. You know, I went on there to look at it and it wasn't loading. I wasn't sure if it was my internet, and I just said, whatever, I'll take a look at it later. It is back up and running now, so you can go in there and, you know, place your order, but that's only if you're interested. You know, and let me ask you this, Justin, what was your reasoning for the 64 gig? Was it just the price, or you're okay with 64 gigs, or what was the case on that? I'll be waiting patiently for you to respond. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna wait the entire time. It'll let me know. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I want to see how it does. I definitely have some interest there. But yeah, so moving on though, let's see here. God, I got a couple good ones here. Oh yeah. So I think this one is pretty interesting. This is another headliner here, the California Broadband. So recently, some of you may have heard about this. Thank you, Larry. Hit that like button. California legislature approves historic broadband internet bill, BILL. And what this is, at least the way I'm reading it, is basically the state is going to provide $3.25 billion to hire a third party to build and maintain a so-called middle mile network, which won't bring internet directly from the backbone to the customers, but rather to connection points. Hopefully it can be upgraded. You know, I have an article for you, Justin. Well, I'll link that to you later, where they're saying it can be, but Valve says you shouldn't. I don't know. I didn't fully read it. I just saw the topic. And then so it's going to bring a backbone so that service providers can actually take off from there. So anybody that's ever wondered, hey, why can't I get a different company aside from Charter or Comcast or Warner Media or whatever? What do we got? Mediacom, that's who I have. If you've ever wondered why you can't get a different service, is because those companies have put down the money in order to lay all the foundation from point A to your house being point B. So if you have Charter in your area, Charter's not going to share that. They're not going to let Warner or Mediacom or Comcast come in and use all of their equipment that they've already laid down. So the price point of entry is now raised in order to be in a competing market. Larry has DonkeyNet. Exactly. So what this is going to do is from point A to these different connection points will be fair use to a certain extent. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of rental but it's not going to be like, oh, these belong to charter, so only charter people can use them. You have to go charter to use it. It's okay. There's these connection points. Charter, you want to use some connection points? Here's your group of connection points, and you can use, all these slots. I'm picturing it kind of like a network rack where it's like you just have switches, and it's like, okay, you get the first 2 banks of switches, charter. Okay, Comcast, you can have the next 2 banks. Mediacom, you can have the next 2 banks, and you guys break off from there. I know that's the simplified version, but trying to keep it understandable for me. So everything up until that point is all owned by California. So assuming that this is their long-term plan, which I mean, from what I'm reading here, it's going to make the middle mile network open access to allow non-discriminatory access to eligible entities on a technology and competitively neutral basis. Meaning you can come in there, start your own internet company per se, where all the main roadwork has been done, all your wiring has been run up to these different points, and now you just need to provide that last mile, the last mile infrastructure. So to me, this is great. I really hope that this takes off, because it's going to force companies to A, be more competitive, and B, open up to different options. Having a different option here, like where I currently rent, all the lines owned running from the access point somewhere out over here to this building are owned by one company, Mediacom. Therefore, I can only have Mediacom. Now, they're not bad. Their prices are a little higher than I would like, but overall, they're good. They get the job done. I have some issues here and there, but I think most of those have cleaned themselves up. But having the option of going, you know what? I don't want Mediacom. I want such and such a company. Now, one thing it does not really say is, in this article at least, is what exactly they're going to be using. I'm assuming it's going to be either a full optical. Justin says, agreed, you need better internet. Hey, you know what? I don't think I've had any issues as of yet, knock on wood, on this stream. I think my issues have mostly died off. I honestly think the router they gave me was something a little wonky there, because I haven't experienced problems since I bought my own modem. But I'm hoping that they're going to do something a little advanced as far as technology. They're not just going to run coax cable for miles on end. It's just not going to work, I don't think, for what they're doing. So I'm hoping we see some fiber optics going here. Even if they ran fiber up until a certain point, that's what Charter does. They have a hybrid fiber coax, I forget exactly how they phrase it, system where they run fiber up to a node. From that node, they branch off with just coax cables, so just that copper cable. Alan, don't you dare. I swear to Alan, if that happens tonight, I'm tracking you down. I will take the day off work tomorrow, track you down, and just one solid right to the kisser. Yeah, I need that. So, but I see this happening a lot more places if this is executed correctly. Especially with internet being more than just it's a necessity at these points. Gonna lay down. Oh, okay. Thank you, Justin. Hope you feel better. You go take care of yourself. So, But really, internet has become it's not a utility. But to a certain extent, it's a necessity. In today's society where, I mean, we have people working from home, we have just the, schooling from home, a lot of people have cut the cord and they're going with all streaming services. Like, I'll pay to see that, Larry. $50, it's happening. No. So I really think that this could be a way of the future. One thing they do talk about in here is the middle mile plan prioritizes areas underserved by current internet options. So basically areas with no residential access to download speeds of 25 megs per second and upload speeds of 3 megs per second would be targeted first. So, if for say Larry was living out in California where they're doing this, your donkey net would just be pushed out of the way. They'd get you some good internet out there. So yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes. I'm curious to see if that becomes a standard across the board. I could definitely see it. I think that's a possibility. So quick sidebar. I found this one talking about streaming services. If you're in the market for a Chromecast, you can pick up a Chromecast and 3 months of HBO Max for $64.99. What are you talking about, Carl? I don't know. Don't mind me. I'm just streaming here talking about whatever. So I have HBO Max. There are some good classic movies on there that are just awesome. Plus they have some newer ones that are great. I'm trying to think. I think I pay like $10 a month. So that's $30. Chromecast is about $50 by itself. So you're saving $15. If I had a need for another Chromecast, which I don't, I already have 2. I would pick one up. I mean, that's a decent deal. The ad-free tier. Okay, it's actually $14.99. Is that what I'm paying? That might be what I'm paying. So $14.99, 3 months, you're looking at $45 alone. $45.49, you're looking at $94, $95. I don't know, pretty sweet deal. Saves you $30 on it. So just thought I'd throw that out there for my fun find of the day. So moving on. Which one do I want to go with next? Let's get it. It wouldn't be one of these tech talks without some sort of autonomous driving or electric vehicle. Well, Intel's Mobileye begins testing autonomous vehicles in New York City. And I was reading up on this. I'm like, okay, what's so special about New York City? Like, why aren't they testing it anywhere else? Well, if you think about it, it's busy there. I mean, it's like always go, go, go. So you do have, if you're going to test something, you're going to test it there because it's going to give you the most obstacles to overcome, especially the number of people you run down. I mean, you got to get over each one of those obstacles, if you know what I mean. But no, I thought it was interesting that they're doing it here, and come to find out, it wasn't an easy move to actually get New York City to agree to let them do those testings. You can't just plop a vehicle down anywhere in the United States and go, let's go ahead and let that run and see what happens. You have to get approval from the cities. You have to have insurance for all that. There's a lot of restrictions you have to go through, and I did a little bit of research, and it's like, they really don't want much of that in New York City. So I'd be kind of curious. What I find interesting is this right here, this car. I mean, hopefully you guys can see my mouse. That's like a Ford Fusion right there. That's like what I drive, but just newer and nicer. So to be able to just basically take a car that you already have, or that they're already making, I should say, and apply the autonomous driving, that is pretty awesome. I don't think it's going to be one of those things where I can just go, damn it, Alan. I don't think I could just go slap that on my car the way it is now. There's a lot more technology there, but they didn't have to reinvent the wheel or redesign the car. They just added to something that already exists. And Alan says, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. New York, New York. Yes, that's a song. New York, New York. And Larry has it stuck in his head. Yes, that is why they don't use Jeeps for the autonomous vehicle test. Yeah, you got to make sure, just no. I don't know why. I'd imagine Jeeps, it's a lot harder to hide stuff in a Jeep. Because, I mean, just imagine what they're having to jam in here as far as cameras, sensors, processors, motors to control the steering wheels, motor or actuators to control the steering wheels, the gas pedal, the brakes. Like, there's a lot going on here. Whereas a Jeep, it's like you have a frame and then a couple seats. And I love Jeeps, don't get me wrong, but there's like nothing to them, like nothing at all. So they don't want much of anything in New York unless you can tax the crap out of it. They can tax the crap out of you. Yeah, I could see that. And especially like what I'm picturing here is the autonomous vehicle is they're gonna start doing Ubers and ride shares and stuff like that with these autonomous vehicles, which means there's like a whole business. I mean, $1 billion business. Actually, I don't know exactly how much, but a huge business in just taxi companies. Let me see how much did taxis make in New York City? The average taxi driver salary is only $43,911. But the range typically falls between 36,000 50. Yeah, so average salary 43,000. How many taxis in New York City? So what did I say? 43,000. We're gonna need a calculator on here. Let's say 44,000. And there are currently 13,587. That is over $500,000 in people making money off of taxis. So don't forget the actuator for the horn. It is New York. You know what? That's true. That is very true. But I mean, that's over $500,000 just in wages for taxi drivers. Like it's what was it here? 597 million. Did I say over half $500 million? Yeah, that's a billion. $597,828,000 for taxi drivers in 2020. So just think about that. Imagine how many or how much people are paying for taxis. The drivers are just making that percentage of it. Yeah. Cab driver union wouldn't allow it. The thing is I don't know. I guess I would have to do some more digging into how the cab driver union works, because is that just contracted to the city? If so, can the city just be like, well, we're just gonna go ahead and just not renew our contract? Or are they an independent? Because a cab driver union would have to work for somebody. Like yes, you're unionized, but 2020 was probably a slow year too. I don't know. Bill Wilson, that's a good question. I'm not sure exactly how that would work. Because I mean, can you get an Uber in New York City? That's not a cab driver. That's an independent operator or contractor, or however they have that phrased. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get Ubers and Lyfts and all that. So interesting stuff. Yeah. Also, if you have a Tesla, they finally launched their full self-driving subscription. It is $199 a month. Justin and I touched bases on this a ways back, and we were talking about like how much are they going to charge? Is it going to be worth it? And I was doing some math here. So you can buy a one-time fee, or you can buy the full self-driving package for $10,000 more for your car. Or you could pay $199 a month and have a monthly subscriptions. So you do still have to have the full self-driving computer hardware 3.0 or above, plus either basic or enhanced autopilot configurations. But the owners can purchase a hardware upgrade for $15,000 to make their vehicles full self-drive ready. So I did some math on this. If you sell your car after 4 years, or if you're leasing your car, that's actually something that just now hit me. If you're leasing your car, which usually it's a 3-year lease, this is cheaper than paying $10,000. So kind of depending on, you know, which route you want to go. If you plan on buying a car like me, I buy a car, I run that thing to the ground. And I will continue to do that. Actually, no, that's not true. I plan on buying a truck here soon, but that's because I just want a truck. But like my car now, it's a 2013. I bought it in 2016. It's now 2021. So yeah, I mean, we're over 5 years into me owning it. And, you know, I mean, if I were in this scenario, I would have paid the $10,000, which would have been cheaper, because at 5 years, you're now paying $10,800. Although Craig can get this for his car. That's right. My brother Craig, he finally got his Tesla. I honestly don't remember which version he got, because I'm a horrible brother. Yeah, now I'm curious where Tesla. Let me just search, see if I could find it real quick. Tesla. No. Tesla called. That's awesome about the Tesla. Let's see. This is just a model. 9 results. Only base model. Yep. I don't think he actually told me different models. I think he may have like told me as we were talking, not via text. But yeah, he got the Tesla. I'm not sure which one he got. You'll have to just go ask him on his next stream. Be sure to check that out whenever it's happening. Bill Wilson says the permit to run a cab, I think, is over $1 million. I think you're right. That does sound about right. So you fork that out and you get a taxi like medallion. Like you still have to have a license to operate it, but this is like you own your own taxi. So therefore, you're not working for a different company. You run this cab, or this taxi, and you can go anywhere, do whatever, and charge whatever. And I'm sure there's some regulations there, but you're no longer just getting paid by somebody else. So, yeah, full self-driving. It's not. I do need to clarify something. It is not autonomous driving. That's not what this is saying. This is full self-driving. You still have to have your hands on the wheels. It's not going to just take off from the start and from point A to point B without you doing anything. This is, I forget what it is, like different tiers. This is a good tier, but it's not the best tier. So, all right. What else do we got some other goodies here. Oh yeah, this is one I want to touch base on. So a ways back, Justin and we talked about RCS. For those of you that don't remember, RCS is real-time chat service. Oh yeah, there you go. Alan's in the know. New York City has taxi medallions cost well over that. They end up costing several $1 million in total, which is why Uber is killing them. Yeah. Anyways, RCS, real-time chat services. Think iMessage for Android. The only problem is initially it was only on Pixel devices. Then they started talking about how Samsung is going to start shipping with them, automatically installed as its default messaging app. And that's all done at the hardware level. It was supposed to be adopted years ago by the carriers, and they just weren't really moving as fast as Google wanted to. So Google just implemented it right into their messaging app. And honestly, that was one of the first things I did when I got my Samsung. Was I downloaded the Google Messages app, because this allows you to do high quality videos, high quality photos, reactions to things, send and receive confirmations, scene confirmations, all that good stuff that you get with iMessages, but without having to have an iPhone. So unfortunately, it doesn't work cross phone. Like, it only works with Android phones. Although, can you install Google Messages on an iPhone? If so, would it then work? Because it's a end-to-end encryption from phone to phone. Anyways, I digress off the topic of Verizon is also now switching to Android Messages as the default RCS. So any phone purchased from Verizon by default is going to have RCS just enabled. AT&T and T-Mobile are also preloading messages. This is something that honestly, I think I can say Google initiated this. This wasn't a mainstream thing. Even when they first, or even after they launched it and it was going successful. I know it was available on Google Fi, which is what I have. That's Google's own phone service. And it was only available on Pixels initially. Then they started betas for other phones, and then it just became available for all phones. It's a really nice feature, honestly. I give Craig crap because I'm like, oh, it's not an iPhone. It's, this or that. But Apple did it right. iMessages is awesome, and it's one of those things I didn't know until I experienced it. And obviously this isn't iMessages exactly, but it's iMessages for Android. I really enjoy it. I think people are starting to use it more and more and go, why the F did I ever use SMS messaging or MMS messaging for like videos and stuff? Because you take a picture, you send it to somebody via MMS, and it just looks like complete garbage on the other end. You send a video, you can't tell, it's just pixelated garbage because there's no, like, it was such a low capacity for sending files like that. Like, you couldn't send anything over a certain time, or like video files, it couldn't be over a certain length or a certain size. It was just dumb. It really was. Now we got it. I have another drink. God, that's good. Hey Larry, if you're ever up in Iowa, I need you to bring me a couple more cases of these. That'd be great. Thanks. So, Google, you know what? Usually there's a whole lot of Apple talk, so I figure I might as well balance it out. I just talk about the Apple stuff because it annoys Justin. Not really. They're just in the news a lot. So, but Google's actually up to some no good. No, they're up to good. So Google Glass was supposed to be the thing that changed everybody. You could wear these, you could have augmented reality, and that was just a big old flop. To a certain extent. There was always that potential, but the real world applications just aren't there yet. But the commercial applications are. So Google has integrated Google Glass with Google Meet, its video conferencing program. And basically, this is pretty smart. This is a couple things that I think Justin and I had maybe even talked about at one point. Being able to walk people through stuff. Maybe you're an on-site repair tech for a company and your manager is out of the office or he's busy on something else. Just imagine being able to pull up your phone and be like, hey, turn on your Google Glasses. Oh yeah, no. Okay, now, like, for example, I'm looking at this picture right here. you could see motor starts, main drive start, motor stops. If he was having to do something, but he's like, you know what, I'm just not familiar with this, call the boss pulls up basically a camera feed and sees exactly what he's talking about. Boom, there you go. Now you can actually see and kind of help direct him while keeping both hands open. Now the other option here would be something along the lines of having a GoPro or something hooked up, but that kind of creates more issues. If you were, say, to have somebody wear this at all times and basically just have it as an open chat room that somebody could pop in, you can audit what people are doing. So it has failed as a consumer product, but it's $1,000 enterprise headset. So HoloLens is kind of the same way. That's Microsoft. I've never heard of Magic Leap headsets though. I'm kind of curious about that. We got Magic Leap. Please don't be okay. I was like, please don't let it be anything bad. Oh, okay. So you guys tell me what you think. Magic Leap versus let's look at these. Those look kind of like glasses. They just have a camera there. This looks like something out of Jurassic Park, like it just needs to zoom in more. No, but like this is more augmented reality and looking to be able to see things in a 3D. Oh yeah, like 3D reconstructions of MRI, CT scans. Pretty slick stuff. A lot of potential out there, but the real world isn't there, so got to find ways to do something. Here's something that I was like, I like this. I like this a lot. Only because I like to randomly Google stuff, and it's always just out of curiosity. Like I Google stuff that might be questionable, and it's never because I'm that guy or that I'm trying to do something wrong. But there's times where I'm like, how does that even work? And people are like, oh, gross. I can delete my last 15 minutes of search history. So there is a new feature that allows you to delete the last 15 minutes of search history. Yeah. I think that's kind of cool because there's sometimes you look up stuff and you go, I don't want anybody to know about my my Ariana Grande Ariana Grande crush, so I gotta hide it. I want to be like Ariana. Sure. So yeah, if you're ever looking up stuff and you're like, I just don't want that on my history, you have 15 minutes to delete it. What else do we have? Oh, so I found this interesting. I was under the impression that Apple was like the number one phone seller in the world. Apparently not. They're not even second anymore because Xiaomi took over. So Samsung is the number one phone vendor in the world at 19%. Xiaomi though, mainly because, it's one of the biggest companies in China. They're at 17%, overtaking Apple's 14%. And that's huge, like to knock out Apple out of the running, you're doing something right at that point. So it shipped 83% more phones than in Q2 of 2020, whereas Samsung shipments grew by 15% and Apple by just 1%. So, yes, they may have had a slower Q2 of 2020. Don't know why. Maybe because people weren't buying phones at the time. I don't know what, but to grow 83%, like that's still a huge, huge jump, especially when Samsung is only managing 15% and Apple just 1%. So number 2 in the world, they're happy. I'd be advertising that shit all over the place. Like everybody would know number 2 in the world. Because I'm always number 1 in the world. So for me to actually step down, I got to let people know that. I got a lot of followers out there. I'm kind of a big deal. have many leather-bound books that smell of rich mahogany. Anchorman reference for anybody. So yeah, Xiaomi, I've seen their phones. They have some really cool ones. Xiaomi, how do you spell that? Xiaomi Mi Band 6, is that it? No, that's their watch. There's something 6 right now. Xiaomi phones. I'm gonna see it and go, oh yeah, that one. Yeah, they got some kind of crazy ones. There's definitely a Samsung-esque type look to these. So this is Xiaomi's website. So, you know, they got like 3 different cameras on there. Had a timer set off. There's 3 different cameras on there. Looking at some of these, I mean, you have like the Note 10. Who else makes a Note line of phones? Samsung. The Mi 10T Lite, the Redmi Note 9. All of these have like 4 to 5. Is that 5 cameras on that one? Nope, that's like a fingerprint sensor. Good for you guys. If that's a fingerprint sensor, well done. Put it on the back. Samsung, give me something like Google's. Oh, actually, that was another thing I meant to have ready. Google the Pixel. Oh, yep, we're talking about the Pixel. I ruined it. The Pixel 6. There we go. Pixel 6 is coming out, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this. That's not a Pixel 6. No, let's go back. There's got to be. Oh yeah, so here we go. So Pixel 6. This is from July 20th. Oh, that's today. So this is supposed to be Google's actual flagship phone. We'll have to obviously wait and see. But there's one thing that they really did right here. So, well, for starters, I don't know about the look. I like the color combo. That orange is a good color, kind of like a ginger color. So it's almost awesome. That's what they should call it. Almost awesome orange. There it is. There's your color, guys. Almost awesome orange. No, but so I wish I could find that article. I'll as I talk, I'll see if I can't track it down. Google phone manufacturers. So back in the day when Google would make phones like the Nexus 1, Nexus X, Nexus S, or the Nexus or the Galaxy Nexus. Those were 2010s, 2011s. The Nexus 1 was an HTC phone, pretty good. Nexus S, that was a hugely popular phone. Maybe not mainstream, but it sold pretty darn well. That was made by Samsung. The Galaxy Nexus, made by Samsung. The Nexus 4, Nexus 5. Did I have the 5? I think I had the 5. No, I had the 5X. I had a Nexus 6, which was Motorola. And then I had a 5X, which was also LG. Where I'm going with this is, guess who's making the Pixel 6? Samsung. So you're finally getting... Oh, I set a timer. No crap. Alan, stop judging me. So you're finally getting a phone that is, to me, I think the best of both worlds. I do like the basicness, the vanilla flavoring that is Pixel OS, Android, where it's just, here it is. Fair for anybody to mod and change however they want. But it is just, here is Android the way Google intended it to be. Just basic, simple, straightforward. All the features I really liked about the Pixel. I used to have the Pixel 3. Don't get me wrong, I love Samsung. This has a premium quality feel. I do like the overall aesthetics of it. I like the speed of it. There's definitely a noticeable difference. The screen quality is pretty darn good on this. There's too much stuff sometimes on this for me. There are things I do like, but I don't. For example, I have two different calendars on my phone. One is the Samsung calendar. The other is the Google calendar. Samsung calendar, because I like how easy it is to add my schedule to it, because it saves like most commonly used things. But I prefer the look of the widget of the Google calendar. So, there are things I do like, but there are other things that I'm just like, what is it? Game launcher or something? Where is that? Yeah, game launcher. When I first started installing games on this, everything went into that damn game launcher. So I couldn't make just a shortcut on the home screen. I eventually figured it out, but that should be something I can turn on. It shouldn't be something I have to turn off. My personal opinion. And that's why I've always liked Google in how it approaches OS, like Android. Just simple, straightforward, and I can add stuff to it. Samsung gives me everything I need, and I need to take stuff away from it because bad Samsung. Like the battery saver, great and all, but if you install third-party apps, it doesn't necessarily work the greatest, and you have to go through and take off battery saver mode off of that particular app, and stuff like that. So to see Google finally, I think, doing it right. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I love the Pixel phones so far, but they've always been lower end flagship phones. I've never really gone, that's a flagship. I always go, it's their flagship. This is Google's attempt at a flagship, or this is Google's version of a flagship. If they said, hey, Samsung, here's what we want, you guys just make it for us, and we'll just slap Google on it. If they just let them do that, I think this could be an amazing phone, the best of both worlds. There are talks about, is it going to have 20 hertz refresh rate on the screen? Is it going to be OLED, which I think OLED was confirmed, possibly. Obviously, we won't know for sure until October, which is usually when they do their releases. I'm not even showing the screen. You guys are just looking at nothing. I'm kind of excited though. There's a lot of things that came with, I saw an update earlier. What is this update I had? There's an update to my phone. I wanted to get, ready to install. This is a Samsung software updates. I don't think this is what I want. Android 12 just adds a little bit of goodness, like the fact that everything's kind of color matched and whatnot there. I want to install that on this eventually, but I like where this is. Do I still have it? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where my Pixel went. I saw it recently and it's just somewhere over there. But I like this phone. I still miss certain things about the Pixel. So if I can just kind of jam them together and this is what comes out, great. I'm probably not gonna buy it. Not gonna lie. I don't know. I just got this guy back in January-ish. Yeah, I want to say January. So to already upgrade in October, I'm just usually not that guy, but I'll wait to see what people actually have to say about it before I make the full decision. So, but let's see. Is there anything else? You know what? Hey, I haven't talked about anything Lady A in a while. So I did find this. I heard this on the radio and then I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I don't like Lady A's voice. A lot of people don't. That's why they're requesting other people like Shaq or Melissa McCarthy to do voiceovers. I heard some voiceovers. Oh, let's see. I want to play this, but I have a feeling it's just going to copyright strike, YouTube. Don't do it. But you should really check these out if you haven't already. There are some funny sayings. Like, you can ask Shaquille O'Neal to rap, and he does, and it is hilarious. And of course, Melissa McCarthy, she's just funny all around. So you give her an option, she just say whatever she wants, within reason, according to Amazon. You could have some good ones there too. Both voices cost $4.99 individually, and this is all. Samuel L. Jackson came about in 2019. You could have his voice. There are limitations. It is not 100% everything will be translated by Shaq or Melissa, but a good chunk of them are going to be covered. So, but anyways, I think we are going to wrap up there. My beer is almost gone, and it is a little after 8 o'clock. So, you know what? I want to thank all you guys for sticking it out with me. I see the concurrent viewers slowly dropping off. So thank you all. I know Justin had to step away, but Alan, Bill Wilson, Mark Gump, Larry Brown, thank you guys. I do appreciate it. You guys are here every week. I don't know why. I don't know why you guys put up with me, but I appreciate it. Alan says, I can't end it quite yet. I got to answer Alan's question here, and I don't know if I want the answer. But he says, what about the new Lady A male voice that is available, Mr. A? I hope that I hope Larry wasn't just getting set up for this, Mr. A. Is there a new male voice? I guess I haven't seen that. New male voice. Also had a new male voice and a new wake word. Apparently ZIGGY can now be used as the wake word. So you have there's computer, Lady A. I think you can use Amazon as a wake word or Echo, one of those two. And then apparently Ziggy. I don't know. So, yep. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys. Bill Wilson says, because I need something to listen to at work. Really? I mean, there's got to be better things than listening to me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do appreciate it. I feel like you guys are friends here, and Mark Gump says fun to hang out with friends every week. Hope to actually meet some of you all one day. One of these days I'm just gonna throw a barbecue, throw my address out there, and it won't be mine. I'll do it at a remote location, and I'll just be like, hey, anybody that wants to come up for the weekend, let's do this. So, but thank you all. Have a great night, and we will see you next week. I'm sure Justin will be back strong next week. So same tech time, same tech channel.